Justin.
Hey, good afternoon, Mr. Carney. I want to ask you about Greenland. Vice President JD Vance is in Greenland today, reiterating their insistence that Greenland can't protect itself and that America basically ought to own the nation. What's your response to that? The outgoing Prime Minister of Greenland has criticized the rest of the world for not standing up more aggressively to these threats. So what would your position be, and how could you help Greenland push back against these threats?
Look, I'll say the following. Obviously, we respect the sovereignty of Denmark, the sovereignty of Greenland by extension. We're an Arctic nation. What we have focused on most immediately, I'm going to use your question as an opportunity to underscore the major steps that this government has taken in the last 2 weeks to reinforce our Arctic sovereignty, a new over-the-horizon radar system that we put in place. Troops, air, sea, and land troops, 365 days a year in the Arctic, protecting our Arctic. The commitments we made, granted, the commitments we will fulfill if we are re-elected, but the announcement we made just earlier this week in Halifax in terms of ships, Arctic-class destroyers, and Coast Guard cutters and beyond. So we are fully engaged, and in fact, I'm going to call out the Minister of Foreign Affairs who led the development of our Arctic strategy, and I will make a point about this actually, because I'm provoked. We developed, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the previous government developed an Arctic strategy because they recognized some of these threats, the broader threats to our sovereignty, and it was mocked by the leader of the Conservative Party, current leader of the Conservative Party, whose idea was that Santa Claus was the biggest risk in the Arctic. The world has changed. It's more divided. It's more dangerous. The fact of your question suggests some of the big shifts. We take our responsibility seriously. We're investing in security to protect Canadians, to assert our sovereignty as we should.
And how do you envision helping pushing back against Russia and China in the north, especially without something like the Arctic Council, which has basically been defunct now for a couple of years? Do you envision rebooting some version of cooperation with the Arctic nations?
Well, we have, and as part of the reason, and it may seem like a small thing, and it was mocked by again, by the leader of the Conservative Party, who doesn't take any of his security responsibilities seriously, it's evident, but putting in place an Arctic ambassador, in part to invigorate the relationships we have with allies or like-minded countries in the Arctic. That Russia is not in any way, shape, or form one of those countries.